Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new series in Age of Wonders Planetfall. That's right, the brand new game that came out earlier this month is the newest game in the Age of Wonders series. The last game came out, I think, in 2014 with Age of Wonders 3. But Planetfall takes place in a sci-fi future where some cataclysmic event, God, I can't say that word right now, cataclysmic event decimates this major empire, and it's fractured, and there's different races trying to vie for power now. And if you don't know what Age of Wonders basically is, it's Civilization meets XCOM. You get the overview of the empire building that Civilization presents, and then you get XCOM's tactical combat, which is just a very interesting combination. It's actually really cool. I have to warn you, I haven't played too much of Age of Wonders Planetfall, but I do know the basics, and I know enough to jump in. I mean, most of what I don't know is like certain technologies. I don't know what the best optimizations are, kind of thing, which is stuff that we learn as we go. So without further ado, let's jump into the game setup. Now, because Age of Wonders allows you to customize your own race, I don't recommend skipping. However, if you want to skip to the gameplay, which will probably be a decent portion through the video, there is a timestamp at the top of the screen. If you go to that timestamp, then you'll be in the gameplay. So for those of you that want to skip, I will see you then. For those of you that want to stick around, let's go into new scenario, and let's choose our planet. So considering I haven't played too much of this game, I think I'm going to stick with a lot of the defaults here. So Imperial World is fine. I think it's like the balanced planet in terms of resources and whatnot. Players 6, world threat level low, that's fine. Opponent level normal. World size, we'll change that to large. And landmass type, we'll change that to continents, because I like oceans. I want to see how naval combat actually plays out and stuff like that. I have to be honest, I didn't actually play any of the previous Age of Wonders games. I am getting into this because this is right up my alley. It's sci-fi. It does combine a lot of hero stuff, which I'm not normally into in terms of games. However, it's really cool because you can customize each unit and just give it certain mods and stuff, just like XCOM, which is great because I actually did like and enjoy playing XCOM. So regardless, let's go into advanced setup. And we will, first and foremost, change some of the stuff over here. I think I just want to change the victory. So we'll turn off score. Everything else is fine. We'll stay true to that. I think that's actually it. Yeah, okay. And then we're going to go ahead and choose our commander. Now, for this series, I think I want to play as the Syndicate. The Syndicate are like this... They're not like a crime syndicate. It's like a, well, you know, we'll just read the description. So the Syndicate are a group of ruthless trading houses from the frontiers of the Empire. With the Star Union gone, they see a universe of opportunity. But what draws me to them is they specialize in arc weapons and psi weapons. So arc weapons are like electricity, and psi weapons are obviously psychic or psionic powers, which is really, really cool. They also get indentured servants, and there's stuff to play around with that, and excellent stealth capabilities and covert operations. Now, I haven't actually gone that far in the game where covert operations actually matters, so that'll be an interesting side effect to playing this, is that we'll be deep into covert operations, which is pretty cool. So there's multiple races that you can choose from, obviously. I think there's like 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. And each one comes with their own bonuses and stuff like that, but I like the Syndicate for now. So secret technologies actually give you a huge edge for your civilization, like what they have branched into technology-wise. So for the first one here, it's void tech. So void tech allows you to warp the laws of physics, allowing the manipulation and teleportation of matter and energy. So you can zip around the map, I guess destabilize and decelerate enemies, which sounds pretty freaking awesome. It allows the use of arc and kinetic damage channels, which we already have arc, so that wouldn't really be beneficial, but void tech is pretty cool. We're going to skip that for now. So Xenoplague allows you to basically spread a highly adaptive alien parasite, and can be used to create biological weapons, develop super soldiers, and evolve planetary populations. So this is like a symbiotic kind of playthrough, which is pretty damn interesting. Psy Syndicate. So the Psy Syndicate employ dark psionic powers to tear holes in reality and summon devious entities from the abyss. This is going to be our civilization's secret technology. And the reason why is that it just sounds so freaking cool. It sounds very, you know, sinister and dark, and I like it a lot. We can summon ethereal beings, break enemies' minds, shatter reality to terrorize the populace, and use psionic damage, which we could already do that before, but I think using psionic damage actually allows our units to be able to just project psionic powers. I'm not sure if they have that ability without a weapon, just in the base unit. Like I said, I'm still learning the game. I'm not entirely sure about a lot of things, so we're learning together in some of these aspects. If you know things that I don't, please call me out on them, and I will adjust my playthrough. I will go over the last couple here. So Promethean are planetary exterminators, eradicating threats with their Pyrex fire, so massive weapons of mass destruction, just tons of destruction, basically. And then there's Synthesis, which allows you to manipulate AI to your advantage, hacking and compromising systems for their own gain. Yeah, that's pretty cool too. And then there's Celestian. So Celestian is like the support or diplomatic psionic power technology. You can buff morale, you can use it in NPC diplomacy, sway enemy soldiers and colonists. This is the nicer side of the psychic powers, which is pretty interesting. But again, we will be using the dark side, the Psy Syndicate. Now, each civilization also has perks, and this is where the replayability factor comes in, like, really, really well, because each civilization you construct here can be different in many, many ways. So you could still have a Syndicate Syndicate, just with different perks, and it changes the game enough where, you know, it's obviously a different playthrough. We will first reset everything back to its original no point kind of thing. So we get 3 points to start with, right? So there are 3 groups here. You can only choose one skill or one perk, I guess, from each of these categories. And then you can choose a vice. So if you want to gain points, which you might need for some of these higher tiered perks, you can, of course, do that. Now, considering the Syndicates are a ruthless trading house from the frontiers of the Empire, I imagine they'd be very wealthy. So we're going to kind of roleplay a little bit with the perks to kind of fit our civilization. So I think Decadent is a pretty relevant choice here. So Decadence actually harms us because it is a vice. So supply redirection. You own part of your colony's food industry, making them work for you and those of your upper echelon. Reducing food production by 10%, which is pretty bad because food obviously allows you to grow pretty quick. So reducing that is going to suck. But we might get lucky and start with some bonus food sectors nearby, which, again, we'll talk about later on. On the alternative, it does provide a little bit of a bonus, so well-fed. You have an improved constitution due to your wealthy upbringing, giving you a hit points increase of 10. So our commander is already going to start off pretty damn strong. So that gives us 5 points total to work with. And what I think I want to do, considering we're going to go into covert ops, basically because of our stealth capabilities and covert operation bonuses, if we get covert operative, we start off with +2 covert strength and +2 covert defense. So I'm not sure what that does right now, but that sounds pretty decent. It also allows us to decrease society operations research costs by 20%. So we can blast through the society researches pretty quickly. And I'm not sure there's much else I really wanted to do in this one. I mean, each one of these is good, but I think from a roleplay standpoint, that would make the most sense. In terms of colony supplement, so there's a lot of cool things in colony supplement. You could either start with 2 extra population and a recreation dome, so you get extra happiness. You could start with more military, you could start with more energy. But data repository actually allows you to start with 2 random technologies from the first selection starter technologies. And I think that's kind of overpowered in terms of a perk. So if we grab this, that's 2 techs we don't have to worry about. Yes, we miss out on some of these good ones, but this one is pretty good in its own right. So I think we're going to stick with that. Commander loadout. So we have 2 points left, so we can actually go for the big guns here. What do we want our commander's loadout to be? Now, you can change your commander's loadout in the game. You can make, say you choose to be close combat right now, but you get an awesome weapon that would be like a sniper, right? Your commander might not have the skills that would go alongside this this loadout over here. However, you can still switch to that weapon. So I think it would be pretty interesting to probably have... Well, we could either have a Syndicate assault vehicle, which would be a hover bike, okay, or we could have an Imperial APC, which sounds pretty damn cool. So the Imperial APC has various support abilities. Also, a Psy-Tech grenade that deals psionic damage in an area and has a chance to cripple those hit. Considering what my commander is going to be, and I already have an idea of what I want my commander to be, if we do support vehicle, that would kind of make sense. So let's do it. So that's all of our points done. This is our civilization, so we're the Syndicates. We have Psi Number Secret Tech. We have Decadent as a vice, support vehicle loadout for our commander. Our background is a covert operative, and our colony supplement is 2 random technologies from the first starting techs. So let's jump in here, create our character, and then we'll be good. And here is our commander. So what I'm thinking about for this civilization is, I think of it more of like a sinister cult, right? They have very fine-tuned, dark psionic powers, but they're in like a cult fashion. And I would say that even though this is just a commander, I feel like this would be the leader of this civilization. Sol Tenebris, which means the Dark Sun, is personally leading this expedition to colonize and do whatever to this new world, which is pretty interesting, at least in the roleplay aspect. Color, we will change to a nice orange. Yeah, that looks really cool. Second color will be white. I'm not sure that changes much. Don't think so. But it does change the symbol, which we can change over here. Now, sadly, I have looked at this, and there is no sun. You have eclipses, many different eclipses here, and I think I like this one the most. But there's no sun logo, and it's an oversight that I will try to rectify by calling them out on it. No, it's all right. But we will do this, the partial eclipse, unlike the total eclipse, which looks really badass right over here. And we will go ahead and start the game.
Salutations, scion of the Syndicate. Your ancestors led the earliest conquest of space, gathering fortunes and establishing aristocratic houses across the galaxy. Despite having to submit to the Star Union, wealth, influence, and a caste of servants have followed your houses to this day. Nobility brings obligations. Don't have the collapse of the Union turn you into a petty robber baron. Restore this planet to civilization.
All right, perfect. So our planet is called Hiteli Q. There is 60% water and 40% land. These are our objectives for winning the game, basically. I did turn off score victory, because I just don't like score victories in any of these grand strategy games. Yeah, so let's jump in. That is so cool. All right, anyway, welcome back to those that have skipped to the gameplay. We are in the game in this frozen wasteland that is Hiteli Q, which is the planet. We have a very interesting region. There's a very large chasm full of lava over here. There's a lot of enemies nearby. What is this? Psy Fish Faction. Excuse me? Psy Fish? What? Those things remind me of, what's that movie where they journey to, like, the deepest part of the ocean and discover aliens? That reminds me of this thing. Anyway, yeah, this is the starting region. This is our capital, Inelix, which I might change later, depending on if... Actually, yeah, that's a good idea. If you guys have a better name than Inelix that kind of fits with the lore of this civilization, that would be fantastic. For those of you that did skip, we are a Psi Numbra Syndicate faction. So we have dark psionic powers, and we are going to really screw with this world. Mentally and just psionically. It's going to be fantastic. So, basically, these are our barbarians, right? So the ones that are in white here don't move around. They just sit where they are, and usually they're guarding some sort of benefit underneath them. So in this case, we have what looks like... these are Marauders, but they are Devar Marauders. So it's Devar units, which is another race in the game. But they're sitting on top of a stash of production. So if we actually cleared this Barbarian out, or Marauder, then we could actually go in here, take the production cache, and it would go to our nearest city, meaning we could produce things a lot quicker. Over here, we have, what is this? A derelict power plant, so that's a bonus for this sector. So instead of like civilization's hexes, we have sectors, which basically have these crazy borders here. But sometimes in these sectors, you have special bonuses. Now, if you actually go ahead and annex a sector, you have to specialize what you want to focus on in that sector. So for instance, with what's around us, it's actually quite easy to figure out what we want to do. So in this sector, we prioritize energy. In this sector, science, energy, production. Sadly, there's no, like, food around us, which actually kind of sucks because we took a negative penalty to our food income because I wanted that vice to get a better bonus. So that's going to suck. But we'll figure it out. Actually, in that case, what we'll do is in our capital, we will focus on building a central biofarm. So our production for food is mainly going to come from our capital city for the most part. For now, until we settle elsewhere where there might be benefits to food production in other sectors. So we'll do that. We'll produce that right away because we definitely need it. And then we have a scout unit, which... Okay, so we have this cache open. We have this cache open. That one's guarded. This one's open as well. So what's this? This is a production stash. This one is a energy stash. I think I might want the production stash first, just so we can speed up our production in the capital. So we'll do that. Okay, so the Imperial Production Stash. You find a transport containing a salvageable production stash. Unfortunately, the stash's systems are destroyed and provide no data on its origin, destination, or the event that led to its destruction. Now, this is pretty cool because if you do find a stash that isn't partially destroyed, it will lead you to some... what do they call them? Like landmark, which is like a huge benefit to a certain sector. And we'll get to that once we first find one, but they can be pretty beneficial. So we'll take that, which is worth 50 production, which already sped up our central biofarm by 1 turn, basically. What is this? Oh. Uh-oh. Okay, so we found, we found a Marauder spawner. And it's a naval base, which means that they're going to have some pretty decent naval units right off the bat. Oh my god, they have so many over here. Alright, anyway, so this is the red type of enemy, and they move around. This is going to be a spawner, so it's going to keep producing units, just like in Civilization, a barbarian encampment. Keep producing units and terrorize your lands. So, this scout has got to move next turn, if we can. Okay, coming back home, we have our main army, and our commander sitting in this beautiful APC. Actually, you can kind of see his head poking up right there. Perfect. Now, if we actually click on these units, we can actually see their bonuses, their resistances, their abilities, what they specialize in. Everything is listed right here, and you can actually go ahead and customize, like I said, your units. Now, for your commander, you can customize the weapon and your sub-weapon, or secondary weapon, which is mostly just grenades and stuff like that. And then you could go ahead and add mods, which you unlock through technologies, or I guess we... Oh, okay, so we started with a certain tech that I'll get to in just a second. But, yes, you can buy them with Cosmite. Cosmite being one of the more rarer resources up here. Currently we have 20. Why can't we buy this? It's not compatible. That makes sense. Okay. Well, we'll get to that in a second. Anyway, so there's plenty powerful mods that you can actually add to your units. We will talk about more of this as we go along, but for the time being, I don't know... Well, it might be worth actually giving them this mod, considering we start with it. This mod is static buildup. Attacks from arc weapons have an 8 something symbol to apply static charge. A stacking debuff that lowers the target's arc resistance by 1 for 1 turn. So basically, if you attack with this unit and lower their resistance by 1, you can actually get in with another unit that has an arc attack and cause a lot more damage. So that's actually a pretty cool bonus. It costs 5 Cosmite, which we have 20. It costs 10 energy as well, which we have quite a bit. You know what? Let's do it. So, yeah, let's do it. So, mod equivalent units, so it's 30 energy, 15 cosmite, which is most of it, but that's okay. We're making 5 a turn. And, yeah, so here we go. So, we can also, like I said, name the template. We're going to call these the Electrostatic Indentured. Perfect. So, anyway, these units right here are the indentured servants, basically. So, there's some cool stuff that you can do with these eventually. Like, for instance, this over here is our specialist unit that we start off with. It's the Overseer. The Overseer has certain abilities that can affect your indentured. So, for instance, the Cerebral Override targets indentured units suffer 5 psionic, but regains all of their action points. That's for later. I'm talking too much about that stuff. I'm just excited about this. Anyway, so with our main army, what do we want to go ahead and take a look at? So here is actually a landmark that we can see right away. It is being guarded by what looks like a faction, because it does say owner unknown. It's a bunch of plants, so I think I know who this is. Yeah, it's the Growth. Okay, so the Growth are in a landmark. A landmark that actually looks pretty damn awesome. So these landmarks actually give crazy bonuses to the sector that they inhabit. So if you annex this sector and complete whatever objective you need to do to unlock this building, you'll actually get the bonus. So in this case, we'd get 20 science per turn, I think it's per turn, and 2 science colonist slots, which is pretty damn nice. Also, it unlocks the following building in our colony, the Learning Center, which, considering it's right next door, I'll actually take a look. All non-mindless units produced in this colony gain 25% experience from all sources. That's a weird phrase, because mindless could be a robot, but non-mindless is not a robot? I don't know. I guess we'll figure it out once the time comes. I am wasting so much time talking, I'm just excited. So, our first starting researches, because we did choose that colony supplement that gave us 2 random texts from the beginning. One of them is aquatic deployment.
The sea is a maiden of many moods, most of them murderous. Captain Peter Visser, Salty Bay Colony.
Which is actually pretty good because we do have some ocean over here that we can exploit, which gives us a water base, so unlocks the ability to build bases on water in coastal sectors. Unlocks sea transport, so allows units to embark into a transport to travel across the water. Now, the reason we were able to travel with our scout is because it's a floating unit, and floating or flying units can actually cross these sort of barriers without certain techs. And also river crossing expertise. So the unit has been trained in crossing rivers and does so at a greatly reduced move point cost. That's actually really nice, getting this early. And then our other random tech is magnetic energy storage.
One of my regulars, a scientist developing arc weaponry, said that I was his inspiration. My android systems were specialized to avoid static buildup. Something about friction. Rub up against enough people, and it creates sparks. Emma 3. E-bot, and a patent dispute lawsuit.
Alright, awesome. So, we did get that static buildup mod that we did go over already, and a tactical operation. So these can be used in battle. They're like super-powered weapons that you can use, and this one is arc discharge. So discharges an arc blast on a single enemy unit, dealing 9 arc damage with high impact. This attack can jump to 2 additional targets within 3 hexes of each other. Yeah, arc damage is very anti-unit, and it will kind of jump around to nearby units, which is pretty damn nice. What do we want to free up? I think I want to go after the Devar, because they are on our border, but also they have a production cache underneath them. And I want to show you guys combat before this episode ends. And it's been going on for quite a long time, so let's just get this done. Now, these infantry aren't actually upgraded, so I don't think they'll actually have the mod that we gave them enabled, which is fine. Alright, and here we are in the battle, and every map just looks so amazing because it has so much cover. I think it's larger than XCOM, although it's less fog of war-y. I don't know, I kind of like XCOM a little bit better because you can't see where the enemy is, but in this case, you're kind of messing around with armies, and you can have multiple armies engaging in one battle, so you can have a ton of units fighting another ton of units, so it can get pretty crazy. Alright, so with our APC, what can we do? So we have a mounted cannon, which costs a single action. Right, so each unit has 3 actions they could use in battle. They can either move with them, they can move and shoot, they can just shoot, they can Yeah, you get the point. And you can see here that each ability actually costs a certain amount of actions. There are some that cost full actions, so you can only do it from the position that you're in. Drone deployment. Deploy a flying repair drone that can heal units. That is actually pretty cool. But anyway, I think we want to move up probably... Oh, let's move you guys up first. Okay, I think what we'll do for the first round is just set up our infantry around this line right here, set up Overwatch, which allows us to shoot if they enter a certain range on their turn. So we'll go here. We will rotate you to face this way. We will move, come on, you guys up to, I guess up to here. Does this count as cover? Oh, yes, the APC actually counts as cover. So you know what? Let's move the APC up here. Okay. And then move these soldiers up right behind the APC. Perfect. All right, so the syndicates are more of a light infantry kind of unit. They are very agile, but they don't have much in terms of attack. But they do have some pretty cool bonuses. Like, for instance, they have the arc bolas. The arc bolas allow you to... What is it? Throw an advanced bola to capture and immobilize units. Right, so it lasts for, like, 2 turns? Yeah, 2 turns, but they won't be able to move from their position, which is pretty cool. So, really, they're not going to be good in a fight over here. I might just want to sneak them around this way. I mean, it's not really sneaking. They can see all of our units, but I kind of want to just snake them around and see if I can flank anybody on the following turn. So let's go over here. Okay, and with that done, we will skip your turn. We will put Overwatch on all of our units, except for the ones that obviously can't. So you will just, I guess, go in defense mode. You can't go in Overwatch as well, which kind of sucks. Tactical scanners. Start the APC scanners up to give targeting information to all friendly units, increasing both accuracy by 15% and morale by 100 for 2 turns. So morale is very important. Each unit has their own morale bar that you can see right here. So if it's at 0, that's fine. But if you increase your morale, you have a higher chance of gaining critical hits, which is pretty damn nice. However, on the opposite, if you reduce your morale enough, you have negative effects. And I think at some point, if your morale is too low, I think you might actually get deserters. But again, I haven't played too much to really know that full system. But again, I know that if the higher it is, the better. So keep it high. Okay, anyway, Overwatch that way. You can, I guess, just go in defense mode. It makes it 25% harder to hit and cannot be flanked. Oh, okay. And then Overwatch. So we have a pretty good line of defense. 3 units are on Overwatch. We have defensive bonuses all around. We are ready to see what happens, I guess.
Operations available.
And they didn't even move. Okay, well, we do have an operation. Now, normally on our first battle, we wouldn't actually have one, but considering we started with that tech that gave us the magnetic discharge, or the arc discharge, we have a pretty powerful ability right off the bat. So if we actually activate this... Okay, it's not going to do much damage, but if we actually target the one on Overwatch, it might actually help us. Damn. Okay, so that actually did deactivate their Overwatch, which is freaking perfect. So I might just kind of run up and assault them. I mean, this is in the way. But... Yeah, and we also have to worry about these highlighted red areas because they can explode. If you shoot at it, it'll explode. And I'm not sure how the AI actually goes about targeting these things, but I know in XCOM, it's pretty bad. So just try to stay away from that if you can, but if you absolutely have to, like it looks like we have to, I guess we're just going to have to, yep, just run. Run up here. You're going to run up over here. Our Overseer is going to run... oof. I guess just run over here. Okay. These indentured will run up right over here. Now, we're going to be caught out in the open. We are in cover, but they could flank us and get some pretty good shots on us in this turn. So we'll have to take whatever comes our way, though, because they're not coming to us, so we have to move up. All right, this Syndicate runner is going to run all the way over here. And our commander leading this glorious APC is going to move over here. Okay, perfect. So you can actually go ahead and put yourself in defense. Actually, we do have Overwatch on you. But we can also attack, right? For a 35% hit. That's not really that great. I'd rather put you on Overwatch. I'm not sure they're going to move. I don't think so, but they may. So we'll just give it a go. Okay, you can't do much, so just face them. And skip. And I guess move. Okay. Oh, you can't. That would have been nice. All right, just skip your turn. We will rotate you to face the direction of the units, because I think your direction indicates flanking stuff. So if they catch you on your side, even though you're in cover for that direction, I think it still counts as a flank. Yeah. All right, so Overwatch actually did fire, but we did miss the target. And they got off some hand mortars on us, which staggered our unit, which I will talk about in a second. They did 8 arc damage to us. I don't know why they're just going over here. That would have been clearly more beneficial for you to attack the actual units that you move next to. Anyway, what Stagger does is it removes 1 action point from your unit. So our Indentured over here have lost 1 action move. Luckily, it doesn't matter. We can still fire with a basic action. It looks like it was just this 1 unit that was staggered, which is pretty nice. So, let's start laying into these guys. I think if we actually throw a Psy grenade... Yeah, if we throw a Psy grenade right here, we'll blow up part of the cover. We'll hit these... It's not that much damage, but we will hit these units. So let's do it. That didn't actually destroy the cover. That kind of sucks. Okay. Let's see what we can do with these units first. 45% hit, but if I do hit, this unit goes down. Pretty damn hard. And we are flanking them, so that actually helped quite a bit. Now, if we do hit this attack, we will win pretty handily. So, you know what? We'll move right there, just to kind of guarantee our success. 90%. Oh, no. I might want to just give the attack back to our Indentured, using Cerebral Override. So, you know what? Let's just try that. I haven't used it before, so it's good to test things out. And I guess that actually did something with this unit. I'm not sure what, but anyway, we will use the repeating attack to just go ahead and fire. This unit is down to pretty much nothing. Let's move up with our Syndicate runner and take out this unit.
Enemy killed.
Nice. All right, perfect. Now, these last 2 remaining forces, which next turn we can move up with all of these units. But for the time being, I guess just attack the one that has the higher % chance of actually landing. Same thing. That is so close to being lost. We could also use Arc Discharge yet again. It will cost us an additional 25 energy, but it might just... Yeah, let's just use it. That unit will go away. This unit will be staggered. So, yeah, let's do it.
Enemy destroyed.
End turn. We'll see what they do. They're going to move into the cover. Of course they are. That's nothing. Absolutely nothing. All right, let's go ahead and fire at them. Actually, you know what? Let's have our commander finish them off. Move up right here. And fire the autocannon. Okay, I thought that was going to be a little bit more impressive than it was. Yeah, okay. You guys come over here and blow them out of that encampment. There we go, that's better.
Our forces are victorious.
Why is that voice so loud? Oh my god. Alright, so we did win the battle, which actually gives our unit some experience, but also we did claim... Oh. Okay. So the production that we did grab from that production stash is now being sent over to the capital, but I guess you have to choose to build something. So that it's not wasted? Okay. We'll build the military barracks, I guess. Oh, we got it for free. That is actually pretty damn nice. So still, in one turn, we haven't even got a turn yet, and we have already got so many bonuses to this civilization. It's pretty great. We will give orders. We will send you back to heal. You can do that if you just wait a turn, but I just want to move him back to the city. Okay. And that is going to be it for this turn. So, that is it for this first episode. I know it was a long one. I know it was a lot of talking, but I wanted to get that out there just so you guys can follow along with ease. The next episodes going forward will be less talking, unless I'm working through something that's rather complex. And then we'll just get into playing the game, because that's what I want to do. And I am, again, sorry for the long episode. But anyway, thank you all for watching, and definitely stay tuned for more.